Hello there, Middle Earth Strategy Battle Gamers. This is Jason with the ASBGA team, and today I'm bringing you just a quick, hopefully 10-minute video regarding our upcoming event in February. So if you aren't interested in that, I'm sorry to bore you. If you are, then please listen for details and information. Even if you can't come, listen for details and information. Why not? Get to hear about what we're doing. So this is going to be the Great Battle of the Carolinas. The event is on February 6th, 2021. It is going to be located at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Concord, North Carolina. I am your host and TO. So we're just going to go down the event packet real quick, and I'm just going to cover some of the major highlights, and hopefully if you have any questions, this will cover it. I'll be able to answer them as we go. If not, then please leave a comment below or hit me up on Facebook. That way I can answer any questions you have. All right, guys, so let's move right into the first bit, admission and registration. So the admission fee is $30. Like I said, we're doing it at the Hampton Inn and Suites, renting out the room. For those who came to the Pass of the Dead event in November of last year, this is the exact same location. So the $30 is going to cover basically the room cost, some prizes, and some giveaways for everybody. Another thing is I actually have a bunch of raffle prizes too, so bring a couple dollars with you to buy some raffle tickets. And for those who have done my events before, especially my local ones, everybody kind of can agree, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think most folks agree I come up with some pretty good raffle prizes to give away. I'm actually going to have a couple pictures that'll be added into this video so you can see them as we move along. So the registration deadline is the 23rd of January. You do not count as going until I have your registration. So there is no paying day of and showing up. I need to have the money ahead of time so I can pay off the room. As folks, I'm sure you understand, if you've gone to bigger events before, you know that we're kind of having to pay up front. So the deadline is the 23rd of January. I accept PayPal is my primary way of being paid. If you do not have PayPal, please just let me know and we can work something out. I've already had a couple guys saying, hey, I don't use PayPal. How can I pay you? So it's not that big a deal. There are 30 spots available. As of recording this, we are at 14 confirmed filled spots. So that is 14 people who have paid. So there's only 16 left. So if you're interested, hop on it. Now, obviously, we still have a lot of time because this is only October and it is in the first week of February. But yeah, I have actually been able to reserve a block of rooms this year at the event location at the Hampton Inn Suites. I only did 10 rooms because if the 10 rooms don't get filled up, then I'm responsible financially to fill the rest of them. So please, guys, rent a room. Like I said, there's 10 rooms. I already know several of them have been filled. It's a 2-night booking. You have to book for the Friday and Saturday night, the 5th and the 6th. It's a discounted rate of $94 a night. The event packet has a special personalized link that if you copy and paste it into your web browser will take you straight to the 2 rooms. We have 5 king beds and 5 queen beds. The queen bedrooms have 2 queens. The king beds just have 1 single king. There's also a phone number you can call, and you just provide our group name, which is the Great Battle of the Carolinas, if you prefer to call it by phone. All right, so moving on from that, Army list and going back, you have to reserve your room by the 15th of January in order to get the discounted rate. All right, just last little thing. If you don't do it by then unfortunately you won't get the rate, but I think by then most folks will know whether they can come or not. Okay, so now moving on to the next part. Talking about Army lists and restrictions. This is a 1,000 point event. It's the first one of the Carolinas ever, so that's why it is called the Great Battle of the Carolinas. A little backstory quick. We like to do thematic events and thematic armies. So the Great Battle of Carolinas is also straight from the Return of the King movie where Gandalf is talking with Pippin and they're looking out at Mordor and he's saying, it comes to it at last, the great battle of our time. So we're going to jump forward real quick and then I'll come back. I'm sorry, I hop around a lot. But we do have one category for awards, which is Best Themed. So Best Themed is going to be from the theme of the event, which is the Great Battle of the Carolinas. So it's going to be the Battle of Pelennor Fields. So if you have an army list that is like Minas Tirith, Mordor, one of the legendary legions from that time frame, you're going to be in the running for that. So if you don't have that, sorry, you're not going to win. So hopping back, 1,000 point event. Please bring copies of your list for your opponents, obviously. The only banned models are Tom Bombadil and Goldberry. Restrictions, you can only have up to 200 points worth of siege weapons. Model caps, you have to have a minimum of 9. Of course, we had done 15, but with the Black Rider list coming out, we figured 9 was better. Model maximum, 135. Proxies are fine. Have no issue with proxies. They just have to be the same size or bigger. So if you're going to do a Warrior Minas Tirith, but you're going to use a model that's the size of a Hobbit from another company, that's obviously not an acceptable proxy. The other thing is they all have to be the same. So if, like I said, if you're proxying Warriors of Minas Tirith, they all need to probably be around that same baseline. Now, I have seen a lot of armies that are full on proxied, and I have no issue with that because they actually do keep it. They follow that rule basically. They keep everything. The proxy models are all the same across the army. War gear. Only thing that needs to be depicted is conversions for specific hand weapons, and I put in there Rider Rohan with axe. So if you're trying to get a special weapon, like you've paid the point in order to change the weapon for a specific special strike, you need to have that depicted. That way your opponent can know when he's going into combat what he's fighting against. Painting requirement, none. We found that a lot of newer players have an issue trying to get to events because they pick up a box of models and they're like, oh, hey, this is cool to play, but then they don't really get to painting them. And then it's like, oh, well, I didn't want to play because I didn't have painted models. We're not going to restrict you. We've actually done away with that, I think, here in the Carolinas. Would I highly encourage you to attempt to put some paint on the model? Yes, because the best part of the game is the immersion in the lore, which is hard to do if you have base grade models, but we're not going to tell you no. You simply just won't win best painted, obviously. So moving on from there, loaner models. Again, if you have newer players and you guys need some models to fill out your army, please let me know. We have plenty of models between myself and Dan and Joe that if you are trying to play Iron Hills and you're 10 Iron Hills warriors short, I'm not going to tell you got to go spend however much money it is to buy a warband and paint them up and get them ready. We'll just loan you 10 models. Not that big a deal. Please let us know sooner rather than later, though, because the sooner we know, the sooner we can get it to you to let you know if we have them or not. Clock. If you have more than 75 models, I'm going to leave it up to your opponent to decide if you'd like for a clock. It's simply going to mean you have 5 minutes during the movement phase to move all your models. Same thing for deployment. All right, moving on. Submission date is also the same as the payment registration deadline, the 23rd of January. Again, you are not confirmed for the event. I know I have Facebook pages up there, group pages. You are not confirmed until you pay. Until you have contacted me and said, hey, I sent you money, or I've received it via PayPal and send you a message saying, yep, I got it, you're good. You can say you're going, but you're not going to be counted as going until I've received payment. And then again, the deadline for that is the 23rd, and that is also list submission deadline. So if you're waiting until the last minute, the 23rd is your day to pay and your day to submit your lists. Scoring is pretty standard for us. I'll let you guys just look through that. Scenarios, we'll announce those during the round. Awards, first, second, third, best painted good army, best painted evil army, best theme, like I talked about before. New one, best display board. I've seen a lot of display boards lately, and I figured folks who do display boards should get some shout outs. So if you build a display board, then yeah, we're going to have a category specifically for that. Best sportsman and wooden spoon. So the schedule is still a little bit in flux right now. Right now, as it stands, I have the room from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So my goal is to obviously have everything done before 8 p.m. so I can move out. So right now, we're going to be doing setup from 8 to 8:45. Please do not enter the room until 8:45. Then 8:45 to 9:30 is the first round, is check-in. 9:30 to 12 is going to be the first round. 12:30 to 1 or 12 to 1:30 will be lunch. I may change that depending on how we're doing. 1:45 to 4:15 will be round 2. 4:30 to 7 will be round 3. And then 7 to 7:45, probably more like 4:45 to 7:15 is going to be round 3. And then after that, we'll have our award ceremonies, our raffles, and our closing remarks. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. My email is attached to the oh, I just lost my train of thought. Darn. My email is attached to the event packet. There you go. And you can hit me up on Facebook. I use my wife's account, so look for Tracy Alexander. She is the one posting everything, so that is me. I don't use Facebook other than to use her account. So if you have any questions, please hit me up at one of those two. And then just a quick talk. If you unfortunately don't get one of the rooms at the Hampton Inn and Suites, there are a whole bunch of other hotels in that area because it is right next to the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord. So when they do the big races a couple times a year, these places are sold out fast. So we've got like Comfort Inn and Suites, Marriott, Sleep Inn, Wingate, Wyndham, Embassy Suites, stuff like that. Courtyard, Hilton. So if you've got a rewards program through one of those, feel free to use that if you prefer to use that over the potential rooms that I have booked. Food-wise, there's all kinds of food in the area, again, because this is a big, it's by the racetrack, so there's all kinds of foods. You've got Jack in the Box, McDonald's, Wendy's. You got Starbucks for you coffee guys like me. Of course, I prefer Dunkin' or my own home brew of Black Rifle coffee. You've got Hooters, Bojangles. Hooters, nice. Bojangles. There's a couple bars and grills, Texas Roadhouse. There's all kinds of stuff. And that's just on one side of I-85. You can go across I-85. There's Olive Garden, Red Lobster, TGI Fridays, Panera Bread, Outback Steakhouse, Dave & Buster's, a few Mexican food places. I'm trying to remember the names, and I can't think of them right now off the top of my head. Denny's, all that kind of stuff. So there's plenty of food, plenty of stuff in the area. If you're bringing family, the Great Wolf Lodge is actually right across the road from the Hampton Inn and Suites. That's an indoor-outdoor water park. I know it's kind of cold in February, but I've been there before, and it's really nice inside. So if you got little kids, younger kids, I'd say probably 14 and under, it's a good place to go. I actually was trying to do the Great Wolf Lodge, but it ended up being way more expensive than I could afford. Because again, I got to front the money and then have a hold and all that. So we didn't go there. Maybe RGS, maybe another event down the road. And then, Concord is right up the road from Charlotte. So there's plenty of stuff around Charlotte to do. There's plenty of hiking and stuff of that nature. So if you have family coming, they're not going to be bored all day. That's about it, guys. A little bit longer than 10 minutes. I apologize. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Please email them to me. My email is included in the event packet. My PayPal address for paying admission is in the event packet. And like I said, hit me up on Facebook if you have questions. Look for Tracy. That is me. I usually get back pretty quickly. Yeah, it looks like everything. I hope to see everybody there. Thanks to everybody who's already signed up. For those who are still waiting to pay and sign up, I hope to hear from you soon. And everybody just have a good rest of the year. And I look forward to seeing everyone in 2021.